Sean right here for Digital Muscle. I'm joined by the Hall of Famer Kevin Levrone, the Maryland Muscle Machine. We're at the LA Fit Expo, about to kick off the 2020 bodybuilding season here in Los Angeles. Kevin, welcome to California.
Thank you, brother.
As you know, we're headed into Joe Weider's 55th Mr. Olympia Championships. The contest, Kevin, you got 4 first runner-ups in. You spent the better part of your career battling the likes of Ronnie Coleman and Dorian Yates. You had a very close sniff at getting first place. It didn't happen. But at the time you retired, you were one of the winningest bodybuilders of all time. Now you're retired, you got Levrone Signature Series, you're traveling, doing promotions. I know you got some things going on here. What's been happening for you in the life and times of Kevin Levrone after the stage?
Well, you know, Sean, honoring Joe Weider and his legacy and everything he's taught us, right now, you and me and we all are in a position, thanks to Joe, his creativity, his vision, it allowed us to now, since we're retired, to pass it forward. So I travel to all these countries to just give back, you know, his legacy and what I was taught in the IFBB, and that a great opportunity to let the people know you have that pro card. It's an opportunity to further, you know, not only be in competition but a business, you know, and it's worked out for us, and that's why I go out, you know, because it is a business, and that's how I've always looked at it. Even when we were competing on stage, you know, it was a business move. So for me, I'm just honored to be able to be here at the Fit Show here, and looking forward to coming to Miss Olympia, seeing all the fans, being a part of what you have going on. Dan Solomon and everybody there at the Mr. Olympia. It's an honor for me to come this year.
All right, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. You made the infamous comeback only a few short years ago, and a lot of people thought it was very admirable what you were doing. You and I didn't speak for almost a year, because I think I called you something like delusional or something like that.
Yeah.
You took it very personal because you wanted only the positive energy to flow. Where did it go wrong for you in terms of the competition side? I know you accomplished what you wanted. You lived up to your obligation to get back on stage. You had unfinished business, which I wasn't fully aware of. It was something that was in your mission statement. You had to compete.
Yeah.
But once you got there, was it everything you thought it was going to be?
At that point, I made a decision to come back because, you know, there were some things deep down inside of me that I wasn't really set to rest.
Okay.
So I had to go out and figure it didn't matter where I really even placed. Matter of fact,
in the beginning, it did.
It did. I mean, we all, as far as where we are, we want to, you know, because we're in the top 5 or top 6.
You're gonna win.
But the way it came out, it was a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? And I understand where you came from. You're like, you know what, Levrone's delusional. He thinks this and that. Because you're looking at me like, you know what? Why do this, dude? You're a winner. You're a winner. Why would you want to ruin your reputation or put a scar or anything against the name Levrone? But, you know, I had to do it, man, because it was something personal to me that I had to put the rest. I'm glad I did, because the outcome of it wasn't for the company. It was just something personal that I had to put that flame down. And I'm glad I did, because looking back now, it was one of the most memorable moments of my entire career, because you, me, Flex, none of we had never got a standing ovation, you know?
Right.
So when I saw everyone stand up, they were honoring the fact of my previous, you know, career accomplishments and everything, and then what I have done and come to the table with. So it's just something that I'm glad I did do it. I'm at peace with it now.
You had a few injuries on the way back, though.
Oh, dude, it was nothing like at the age of 50 years old. You're trying to make a comeback,
right.
And you were right. You know, but I had to try it. I mean, it was just something that I never had to deal with. It was very, very embarrassing. It was an embarrassing moment.
But was it fun?
It wasn't fun at all.
Okay,
there was nothing fun about it, because when we train, there ain't no fun in the game, you know? You got that mindset, you think that you still have it, you still got it. And I was going back to all that, but I wasn't going to back out using the excuse because I had the quadricep tendonitis, I had 6 treatments on my knees. Yeah, so the champion has to propel forward, you know, even in his weakest moments, man. And that's still part of being a champion, you know?
Yeah.
We win battles, we lose battles, we win, you know, champions defeat. So it all came to fruition, man. And I just want to thank you. But even though you were saying that you were supporting me.
I was.
You were still supporting me.
Yes.
Because you didn't want to see your boy, your brother, you know, go out there and tarnish his name. Which, you know, for me, I'm coming from a competitive side to where, you know, because that's how we go. But I love you,
for
man.
me, I couldn't even believe that you were doing it at that age. I didn't have the motivation.
It's crazy. So And then I just want to say this, because people ask me all the time, Sean, you guys got to remember, like, I took off 14 years.
That's a long time.
And he said, you're freaking nuts. Coming back, standing in the middle of Mr. Olympia and the guy that got second. Here I am standing in the middle. And I only had 4 months to train. So there was a little stuff going on there, but I still had to commit to what I had said, finish the race.
Well, don't you think at the time you did it, it was key because social media was starting to blow up. You gained a lot of respect, huge worldwide admiration in the journey. I mean, Dave Palumbo had you as winning the Olympia. The hopes of a lot of people were really, really high. The reality of the situation was it gave you a new lease on life.
It did.
You were able to launch your supplement line on top.
It did, man. It put me back in mainstream spotlight, you know, and we didn't have mainstream spotlight. Even knew how it worked, but there was a moment there for the good 5 months or whatever it was that Levrone, that name was the top name above, you know, Mr. Olympia at the time.
It was highly anticipated coming.
So I just want to say, guys, you know, if you have that dream, just follow through with it, you know, because you never know. As long as it's not selfish, like for me, it was something that I every night I slept, I just had to do it, you know. So
it's personal.
Yeah, it was very, very personal. It wasn't about the money. I just had to get it out.
Well, how about now? I mean, last year, it appeared like it was the biggest Olympia we ever had. They distributed more prize money in the history of the Olympia. The competition on Saturday night was a sellout. We crowned a new Mr. Olympia in Brandon Curry. We saw Hadi Chupin come all the way from Iran and just shake up the whole thing. Is the Olympia now more exciting in terms of, we don't know if Brandon Curry can hold on to that title, or is it more exciting because it's more inclusive with the classic physique, with the return of the Miss Olympia Championships, with Dan Solomon now running things? Is it more exciting with all the things happening? I mean, Shaquille O'Neal's just named the ambassador for the Olympia.
I think far as the marketing aspect and what to expect and what to see, there's a lot more to see. But I think far as the hardcore bodybuilding aspect of it, I mean, the sport is, people ask me all the time what do you think about the bodybuilders? I said, you know what, the sport is elevated.
Yeah.
It's moved to a level to where we're so mainstream international. Everybody, like, and it all stemmed from hardcore bodybuilding.
Right.
So the foundation and those roots are planted. And you're going back to the question is, you know, is it more, I have to say, it's evolved to another whole monster that it's just, it's breathtaking to great to see.
Moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of time overseas, man, 68 different countries in the last 2 years. Ben and Joe Weider, that vision has still lived on, far beyond, far surpassed what any of you guys could ever imagine what hardcore bodybuilding was. It is so mainstream now, and I honor that. So, you know, I'm just thankful. When I look back, it just blows my mind to see, you know. Yeah. And when we competed in Olympia, there was 6,000 people in the seats, right? No social media and stuff. But now, Sean, with you and Dan and just the vision of it all, it's instant, you know? So people who can't come, you know, from Russia, Spain, Italy, Poland, Germany, around the country, I go to these places and they're still so involved because of the social media. Absolutely. And the network and the marketing and the ideas that Dan and yourself have brought to the table, you know, to bring mainstream people in like Shaq and all this stuff. So we're no longer a monster sport that nobody can relate to. Let's put it that way.
Kevin, the last thing I'll let you go, because I know their fans are waiting on the inside. There's a story out there where you were starving backstage at the Mr. Olympia, and you looked over at me, your boy.
The orange thing.
And you were asking me for me to give you a slice of my orange. Let's clear it up. Talk to your fans.
Yeah. Let's clear it up. Sean Ray told me, he says, listen, I'll teach you how to make money, but don't ask me to lend you any money. I will teach you how to make money, but don't ask me to lend you any money. I will show you how to make money, and that's what he certainly did. You know, but I asked him backstage for an orange because I was dehydrated. He's like, nah, bro, you're on your own. You're my boy, but right now, you're on your own. You got to figure it out because you're taking money off my plate. If I give you this orange, a piece of this orange, you know, hey, you know, and he was right. But
you gotta show up prepared.
Competing at these levels and where we are, you know, it's just
I gotta take the advantage where I could.
It's awesome because we always have a little mindset of what works for us, and he was so right about it. Even though you might think, Sean Ray's being, you know, he's not nice, he's being ignorant, he's being rude. Dude, when he give me a piece of orange, right? But if I ask for a piece of orange now, he'll give me a whole steak dinner, you know. Yeah. So That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, we had some good times back then.
I've learned what I've learned from Sean Ray. I went to him first and said, hey, man, I love your style. I love what you're doing. How do you make money? Remember that in 1992, 1993. And he's always been there for me, through the good, through the bad, and through whatever. This is my man. He's a brother. And I just want to say thank you for always coming back saying, hey, Kevin, stay relevant. Because you're the one who told me, stay relevant. Don't let your name die out. Stay relevant. And every opportunity is always reach back and say, hey, do you want to do this and be a part of it? So I'm honored to be able to say that, you know what, I'll be there at the 2020 Mr. Olympia this year. Thanks to Sean. Looking forward to spending some time with you guys and seeing all my fans.
All right, the Maryland Muscle Machine, Kevin Levrone for Digital Muscle. I'm Sean Ray.
Peace.